Hello, and welcome to the Jared Hurst podcast. This podcast is about understanding ourselves, others, and the tools that you can use in order to transform your life. This week, we're going to be talking about seeing the special in others. This is not what we were going to talk about today. I know it's been a while. I know I've said that before. I've had a couple things fall through, thought I had some podcasts coming through, and it didn't work out, but I promise I'll get better. So today I came to a special location in order to record this podcast. I wanted to be able to try someplace new that might be able to be a better fit for what I was trying to create. So here I am. So I'm in this space, in this building. I set up my tripod, my phone, put down my keys, put down my wallet. I walk out the door because I can't find my microphone. So I go out and the door slams behind me. Well, I turn around, I turn the handle, and nothing. I'm turning the handle and it's locked. I'm like, oh crud. My phone is in there, my keys are in there, my wallet's in there. I have no way to reach out to anybody. And I'm in a building that I don't know where everything is. So I start looking around. I'm trying to find a key, can't find anything. I get desperate. I interrupt somebody in the middle of a coaching seminar or something. I don't know what they were doing, but they gave me their phone, made a call. Anyway, head upstairs. Head upstairs, and there's a photographer there that may have a key to help get me back into my stuff. So I sit around, wait for a while. This person's on a phone call, and I'm watching and I'm looking at all these beautiful photographs. There's this photograph of a bride on this beautiful red rock, like the kind you see in Moab or southern Utah. And she's out there and there's snow everywhere. It was really cool. I'd never seen anything like it before. And there's this beautiful picture of this family, and the parents are on their knees and they're throwing leaves in the air, and their kids are giggling and laughing and playing with them. And so I had a moment to sit there and just kind of soak in everything, all these beautiful photos. So he finally gets off the phone and I start talking to him. I explain my problem. And he's like, yeah, I think I might have a key somewhere. So we go into this room and he grabs all these keys. He's not really sure. And while I'm there talking with him, I just start asking him some questions. I asked him about some of the photos. I was like, where was this taken? And, how did you do this? And I've always loved photography, thought it was fascinating. And, in another life, if I thought that I could make a lot of money on it, I might have considered it, because I take lots and lots of photos on my phone. Anyway, I'm in the process of talking to him, and he was mentioning some things and saying some things. He talked about how he takes 30,000 photos a year. I asked him, you ever get bored of it? Do you ever lose your passion? How'd that work? And he said 7 years into his experience of being a photographer, he has this moment where he was really losing his passion for everything. He felt like he'd really done all the things. There's a box of socially acceptable wedding photos. And then you can be creative, but you can only be creative within this little box. He's like, I got to change something or do something, like something needs to be different. And this is why this podcast is completely different than it was going to be. He said, what I started doing is I started looking at the subjects. And I asked myself, how can I take their photo in a way that highlights who they are? And what he started doing is he would have a photo shoot, and there would be a grandparent and a grandchild, and he would watch and pay attention to the way that they interacted. And he would look for what made their connection special, and then photograph them in a way that highlighted what was special about those two and their connection. And I'm going to be honest, as he was talking, I was trying really hard not to just break down and cry. It was really, really beautiful. The way that he was talking about it, the way that he talked about seeing a bride, the way that her fiance saw her, and taking a picture in the way that he saw her, taking the picture of a couple or a family, the way that they loved and cared for one another. And I was thinking about that, and I was processing this in the moment. It's like that is how we can make life more vibrant, more rich. How can I see people for what makes them special? How can I see people for who they are? To be curious, to understand their reality and who they are. He doesn't just make a question where he talks to these people and say, tell me about who you are and what's important about your relationship. He's observational. He watches and they show him what is special about their connection and the way that they see one another. And in a way, we do the same thing. We can be observational by paying attention to what makes someone special. And having that curiosity to not only be observational, but to ask questions to understand their life, their reality, their perception, their identity in a way that helps them see that you care about who they are, that you see the special beauty in each person. I think that is one of the things that really touched me about this moment. There is a book that I've read, Jen Sincero, You Are a Badass. And she talks about how we are like a river. I quote this all the time. You can't be too rapid, too slow, too curvy, too straight, too waterfally. Whatever it is, that each river, stream, pond, whatever, is different, unique, and beautiful. And as a person, you go out in nature and you see a body of water. You don't sit there and critique it and be, oh my gosh, I hate this about it and I hate that about it and this is really stupid and it would be so much cooler if it was this. If you're somebody that loves nature, you go out in nature, you see that, and you notice the things in it that are beautiful. I notice the shades of green in the forest. I notice the little piece of rock sticking out on a hillside. The way that a certain part is broken, the way certain parts slants. I see all the nuance and things inside that scenery that make it beautiful and unique and one of a kind and special. And you are exactly like that, exactly like nature, like a body of water, like a rock, like a mountain, like a desert. You have something that is uniquely you. I think about the people that are special to me, the people that I've interacted that are either in my life or used to be in my life. And each one of those people, persons, whatever, however you say that, each one of those individuals has something that I love about them that is different than the other people that I've interacted with. This person has an absolutely beautiful heart. Where they love everyone and everything and respect life, regardless of how small it is. This person over here is exciting and enthusiastic, loves to share everything that they come across in life and just stops and smells the roses all the time and is just soaking up the joy and the beauty that is life. This person over here believes in the magic. The magic that life has to offer, and shares that with others, and is excited to believe in the unbelievable. This person over here is excited about any way that they get to draw and create and share their stories. I'm emotional because I'm thinking about people that I know and I love. When somebody leaves your life, as a friend, as a romantic partner, it's okay to mourn that person as a death, whatever it might be, because you are losing something that you'll never have again. They are 100% unique, and you aren't going to replace that. So, of course, you're going to mourn those experiences that you could have and that connection that you do have or did have with that individual. And you can appreciate everything unique and beautiful and one of a kind about that person. And at the same time, know that every single person has something. That if you dig deep enough, you will get to see that and appreciate that and have something new. One of the things that I've struggled with through my life is those relationship connections. And when that one person moves on, feeling that loss, because then I'm not ever going to find somebody exactly like that. But that's the thing, is the next person it took me a while to figure this out, but that next person has something that that first person never had. And the next person has something that that person never had, and so forth, because everybody is unique. And you get to find somebody that is going to share something special with you that you may not even recognize exists, that you don't even fathom the concept of what is out there, what potential there is, and who might be around the corner waiting for you next. Which is why it is a shame when we sit and we shut down and we bottle up and put up our walls and block out new connections. When we say, I'm only going to talk with people that meet this criteria or these beliefs or these whatever, because I only want to interact with people that believe exactly the same way I do. You are robbing yourself in that situation of connections and just wonderful people that you don't even realize what you're missing out on. Be willing to put yourself out there, to pull down those walls, to meet new friends, to meet new acquaintances, new business partners, new opportunities, new ways of thinking, and then learn how to look for that. Those beautiful things, those wonderful things about that person that makes them special and unique. And you will find more richness and excitement in life. Just in the same way this photographer reignited his passion for what he does by looking for the unique and the beautiful in each person. You can make life that way, in the same way. I believe in you. I know you can do it. And until next time, remember that you are not alone.